Now he has quitted his government job voluntarily, and now he is trying to serve as a menial servant for Srila Prabhupada in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Prabhuji has also translated 2 books of His Grace Sriman Sankarshan Dasudhikari Prabhuji. 2 books are Uttama Bhakti and Love Divine Memoir from English to Hindi. So without further delay, let us welcome His Grace Rajaram Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you can start your session.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If it is possible, you can turn on your video as well.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to you all, Prabhu. Please bless me. You are all very learned devotee. And just bless me so that I can speak something about as per Shastra and as per Gurudev Guru Mata instructions. So today I'm feeling very blessed. Sadbhuj Prabhu invite me just to speak about chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Very divine book of Srila Prabhupada. And let me start with the reading. Today chapter 9, the dawn of the Hare Krishna in Britain. So any volunteer can start reading first paragraph.
Prabhuji, I think we have to share the book first. So I think, yeah, let us see book.
Rajaram Prabhu, so how do you want to do it? If you it's up to you. If you want to do a screen share and do, or you can do offline. Depends on you. Whatever.
Now it is visible actually, the screen, or?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, it is visible. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. A new musical called Hare was attracting record audiences in London. It had originated in New York off Broadway as a protest against the Vietnam War. It told the story of a hippie tribe's search for happiness and peace, ending with one of them being forced into the army and killed in Vietnam. Such stories were a reality for peace-loving young Americans, including a good number who aspired to be Hare Krishna devotees. A high point in the musical was a choreographed version of the Hare Krishna mantra performed by the whole cast. Here was a sensation on both sides of the Atlantic and was popularizing the mantra. It was all make-believe. The hippies on stage were professional actors, but it expressed as a real yearning that existed among young people for spiritual revolution and for the dawn of a new age, the age of Aquarius.
The age of Aquarius. Can I explain something? Can I speak something, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Okay. Actually, it's a very interesting story of American people on that age and that time. That's every young generation is very frustrated, especially in the Western world. Yes, and then same story with the Srila Gurudev, His Grace Sankarshan Dasudhikari Prabhuji. He's also the Sri Gurudev also received notice from the army, from the American government, to join army for Vietnam War. The Vietnam War is very in full swing, and American government very eager to push up in the Vietnam War in all young generation, young people, either boys or girls, especially boys. And Sri Gurudev received 2-time notice from the army. Sri Gurudev wrote in Love Divine Memoir, he received a message first time from army, got notice from the army. It is called draft. Issued draft, and Gurudev report to the army headquarters for the medical test and some formalities. And Gurudev use his talent of his theater. Gurudev that time also learning theater, some play and that's theater in also in university, and he used his talent as an actor, and Gurudev act like a insane person, and psychiatric person. Just he has some psychiatric problem, and Gurudev when official of army taking interview, Gurudev put his both hand on the table and shouted, curse the army, 3 times. And they think this person is not mentally fit, it's psychologically not fit for the army. And Gurudev deferred for some time, for around 6 months, for the army. And second time again, Gurudev received notice from the US government to join army. And then second time again, Gurudev planning to how to escape from the army. Because a lot of threatening from the government, if you are not join army, they will punish, they will got in prison. That by second time, again, Gurudev reported to the army headquarters for interview. And this time, the doctor inquired the Gurudev, are you sane? Is it? The Gurudev honestly replied second time, yes, I am sane, but I can't kill other. I can't kill anybody. And doctor is very kind. And second time, doctor give report that this person is not fit for the army. Gurudev escaped from the army. On that time, the American young people are very confused. They were very confused what to do. Then at that time, Srila Prabhupada started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So by chanting Hare Krishna movement, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, the hippie become the happy. This is live example of Srila Gurudev, his great Sankarshan Das Adhikari Prabhuji. So the chanting of Hare Krishna is the starting first step of ladder of devotional service, and Mahamantra is also the last highest stage of devotional service. So the Mahamantra is highly confidential prayer. Actually, this is the prayer. This Prabhupada like started chanting in open top skin park In between the crowds of hippies, they are violating all four principles. They are naked and intoxicated and so many bad things. And Srila Prabhupada starting this movement from the hippies and made revolutionary changes, not only in America, but also in the whole world. The Western world, Western people who had standard of living like that every person above the 30-year is old person. And that we should not listen, talk to the old person. Be careful. This is the commitment of the hippies. We cannot, and second, their thought process is that we cannot surrender to anyone. We like freedom. Even parents cannot stop us, whatever it may be. So Hare Krishna mantra is the highest stage as per verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam also. Because in Bhagavatam last chapter, last sloka, and it's the verdict of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarvapap Parnasanam Paranamo Dukh Samnastam Namami Hari Param. I offer my respectful obeisance into the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of a whose holy name destroy all sinful reactions, and offering of obeisances into whom relieve all material suffering. What we want more than that? Blind man wants 2 eyes. Our needs, anartha nivritti, how to remove my anartha. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Nam Sankirtan, give guarantee to remove all anartha. So this is very, very important to understand us that the Harinam Sankirtan is the very powerful weapon in our hand, especially in this age of Kali. And you can relieve from material suffering from all remedy hidden in this mantra only, especially in this age of Kali. And should we continue for second paragraph?
Yes, Prabhu. Some of you can volunteer, please. Let me share the screen.
The devotee chant. The devotee chanted nightly to the crowds on the pavement outside the sanctuary theatre where Hare was doing. They were not actors, they were the real things dedicated to their search for truth and peace. One night, the member of the cast invited them into chant on stage. The cast of Hare performed the Hare Krishna chant each night, but they did so while naked. A cultural revolution was in progress. Its intention was to change people's consciousness. John Lennon had just written its anthem, his song Revolution, in which he sang that while people say they want to change the constitutions, you had better free your mind instead. In in this time of self-discovery and spiritual adventure, the Beatles were leaders of the revolution. If they become Krishna conscious, others surely follow.
Continue, Prabhu.
Yes, the Beatles were looking for new talent. They had been exploited by the corporate music world, so now following the ultimately death of Brian Epstein, they had started Apple Corp to support independent artist expression. Send us your ideas, they announced. Taking them at their word, the devotees launched a campaign to get the Beatles' attention. They sent them a gift each day for a week, a photo of the new art devotees, arm upraised and with smiling face, and the invitation coming sign with us. The
Sing, sing.
Prahlad story and Yamuna's it cover. Then a walking clockwork apple with the Hare Krishna mantra painted on it, and a home baked apple pie that got through with the help of an American girl working as a George Harrison's secretary. Finally, hoping they had excited some curiosity, they delivered their demo tape of the Brahma Samhita prayers and photograph of themselves. They had no way of knowing if their campaign had been fruitful, but the opportunity to find out came in early December when Shyama received an unaccepted phone call. Hi, I am the airport with some friends. Can you come and get us? It was Rock Scully from San Francisco. Years before, he had and Shyama had shared a room as Fulbright scholar in Switzerland. Later in California, when Rock was managing the Grateful Dead, he had helped Shyama put on mantra rock dance.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much. And the great devotee of Srila Prabhupada taking the effort to convince the London devotee, England devotee, to bring into the Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada also desired to spread Krishna consciousness in England, because in earlier days, England ruled the whole world. The whole world is under the kingdom of United States, and they looted the whole world, all jewelry and all resources. They explored the whole world. But Srila Prabhupada said, you did not get some more valuable thing, because Indian culture or Indian state have even more than the valuable than this monetary thing, and which you are not getting that valuable. I want to share with you. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra, actually, so much valuable thing and so much hidden. If you actually, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not manifested to everyone immediately. It manifests slowly, and so that the Srila Prabhupada want to spread this Hare Krishna mantra in whole world, because the unitedness UNO could not successful to make the peace in whole world, because only the moral ground, when the moral, if we are in actually we are in expert in the spiritual studies, when we know what is matter, what is spirit, then only possible the peace. Just like in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhaktaram Yag Tapsam Sarolok Maheswaram Suhardam Srav. Gatvamam Shantim Richati. So only the Krishna is the best friend of the whole world, and peace is only by this devotional service. Otherwise, no peace. Srila Prabhupada wants to spread the devotional, this spiritual activity, this Krishna consciousness movement in England also. And on that time, only the Beatle groups are very famous. His owner is George Harrison. Then the Shyam Sundara, the great devotee who want to convince the George Harrison, and he made great effort to meet with the George Harrison's and his group, Beatle groups, so that they can make some video, some record, and whole world watching their video. So the Krishna consciousness, revolutionary change can be happened. Then continue for one more
Yes,
paragraph.
I think you can again just wait. Continue.
Samasundara drove to the airport, and 3 hours later, the again Ford Popular rounded the corner into Broughton Street, crammed with passengers and laden with two Harley Davidson machines. The whole party dropped upstairs, and after removing their heavy leather boots, settled down to a hearty meal. The two Hills Angels, their friend from San Francisco, Sonny Berger, and his mate Francie Matt had come to pay a visit to George Harrison to
George
in
Harrison.
George Harrison in response to the invitations they claimed he had given them the previous year in Het, Het Asbury, Rock Height Asbury. Rock Clarkley had organized the explanation, and Key Casey had come along for the ride. Gurudasa had been friends with Casey previous to meeting the devotees. H. author of cult novel One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Casey was a folk hero of 60s America. The two of them spent the evening discussing philosophy while the other guests, having feasted, fell into a deep sleep on the floor. When they awoke, it was evening and they wanted to explore the city. Kicking their Harley Davidson into life, they rode off into the night. A few days later, Rock called Samasundara again. We have got an appointment to meet uh, Ge- uh,
George
George
Harrison.
Harrison to George Harrison tomorrow. You can come too. Bringing another apple pie, Samasundara walked to Savile Row home and Apple Records. Rock's party was already inside, causing the pickable Apple staff a good deal of uh, apprehension. Samsundara, whose name was not on the list, was having trouble persuading the doorman to let him in. Just then, Yoko Ono arrived and recognized his form, the art slave. You must be a friend of George, she said kindly. Come in with me. Once the crowd flowed, he delivered his pie to the recipients, who promised to pass it on George, then found somewhere to sit. The room was filled with the nosy visitors from California and Samasundara decided to stay quietly in the corner and chant on his beats. Word came all four battles were in a meeting. Time passed, and then one by one John, Paul, and Ringo emerged and hastened to the exit without acknowledging the visitors. The party became restless and some left. Finally, when the foyer was half empty, George appeared. He looked round the room, spotted Samasundara, and came straight over to him. Where have where have you been? He exclaimed. George sat down beside Samsundara. I have been waiting ages to meet you. I have seen Krishna people in America, but I could not just go up and talk to them. Then a friend gave me Bhakti Devanatha Swami's record. I
Vedanta
cannot
Swami.
Bhaktivedanta Swami's record. I cannot stop listening to his voice. I started chanting Hare Krishna along with him. I have listened so many times. I have worn the record out. Samasundara listened in amazement as George told him how he had not only learned the chant but had listened carefully to Prabhupada's records, explanation, and Krishna consciousness. He had even taught the mantra to John Lennon, and together they had chanted Hare Krishna on a yacht, the Greek island. We carried on until our jaws as, as soon as we stopped chanting, it was like the light went out. It was amazing. And Samasundara asked if George had received any of their gifts. Oh, yeah, we got everything. And more than a year ago, I got a letter from one of you guys in San Francisco. I am sorry I didn't reply. There has been too much happening. I have been just waiting for a chance to meet you. Well,
Yes,
Krishna
Prabhu.
Sin.
Yes,
Please,
yes.
let
You
me
can
explain something.
Yeah.
This is the Prabhupada training. Prabhupada give training to every his disciple. That first they give prasadam, then talk. When the Prabhupada disciple goes to any authority, first of all they give prasadam, then talk. And Shyam Sundara follow this trick also. He first supply the gift, some prasadam. Gifts means prasadam. Some apple pie, then offer to Kṛṣṇa, and then supply to George Harrison's party. And whenever, whatever authority, every Prabhupada disciple carries some prasadam. Prasadam have so much power. And if we offer prasadam with great devotion, it's very powerful. And that same strategy followed by Shyam Sundara Prabhu. So we should learn about how to approach the big person and government authority. This is the training of the civil Prabhupada. And who is the George Harrison? George Harrison is great celebrity, Beatle groups, very much popular in the world, especially in America and Western world, whole world. Every song and every his line, the young generation is crazy for George Harrison on that time. A meeting with that celebrity, it's great achievement. And finally, the Shyam Sundara achieved this appointment. And this there, and Krishna also helped the devotee. It's said in Shastras, when we put forward one step, Kṛṣṇa come forward 10 steps. Kṛṣṇa help 10 times. So here the meeting arranged, and let me read. Well, Kṛṣṇa seems to have arranged that Shyam Sundara. So where is Bhaktivedanta Swami now? And Shyam Sundara said, he is in Los Angeles, but he will come to London soon. I feel like I already know him. I have heard his voice so much. Who is saying? George Harrison. I really want to meet him and I want to talk more with you. Can you make it out to my place this Sunday afternoon? Then we'll spend as much time as we like. We can chant together. George drew a map on his house, and after thanking Shyam Sundara for coming, saw him. The two. It seems to be George Harrison is eager to meet with Bhaktivedanta Swami, and he said, I feel like I already know him. The Prabhupada is my spiritual master. I feel like him. Actually, the George Harrison want to join ashram, full-time devotee of ashram like brahmachari and sannyasi like that. And he's ready. He came to Prabhupada for joining ashram also. But Prabhupada refused him after meeting the Prabhupada later on. And Prabhupada refused him. This is not, the ashram is not fit for you. You go and spread the Kṛṣṇa consciousness through your songs, through your talent, through your Beatle groups, and spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness all over the world. This is the best example of Yukta Vairagya, using the talent. The George Harrison is the best example of Yukta Vairagya. Whatever Yukta Vairagya means, whatever I have talent, using in the service of Kṛṣṇa. So it's not just like we are posing just like brahmachari, sannyasi, or we are not doing anything. That's not recommended. Prabhupada always recommend that put the Kṛṣṇa in the center, or use our all resources, all monetary things, and all talents in the service of Kṛṣṇa. And George Harrison, I feel like I already know him, because Kṛṣṇa is situated in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. He guides him. When we think about some service, the Kṛṣṇa start helping us. That's why, and after that, George Harrison become very popular for spreading the Kṛṣṇa consciousness, because chanting is not a simple thing. Chanting in Bhagavatam, Tehuti Mata, after learning the whole Sankhya Yoga philosophy from his son Kapil Muni, Mata Dehuti discussed her realization after learning more philosophy from his son. Ahobat saupachato gariyan yat jiva agre na vartate nam tubdham tepastapte juhu sasnurarya brahmanu churnam granati yete. Oh, how glorious are they whose tongue are chanting your holy name. Even if born in a family of dog eater, such person are worshipable. Any person who chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa, not fully mantra, only Hare Kṛṣṇa, they are all glorious. Even they are born in the dog-eater family. So the person who chant the holy name of yours said in the verse of third canto, 33 chapter on 7 verse. Dehuti Mata expresses realization. The person who chant the holy name of yours must have executed all kind of austerity and fire sacrifice, achieved all good manner of Aryan. They must have bathed all holy place of pilgrimage, studied Veda, fulfilled everything required. The Prabhupada right there, if one chant once only, it is to be understood that he has already passed all the examination, not to speak of those who are chanted regularly. And Hare Krishna mantra is not a simple thing. We are chanting, even offensing chanting or Namabhas chanting, pure chanting, whatever. That means we are crossing the all examination. We are clearing all examination. After then we can chant. So George Harrison is very intelligent person. He know what is the power of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he also want to spread this Krishna consciousness, because Krishna consciousness is so attractive. The Krish means attractive. The Krishna was most attractive, most pleasurable. Then everyone is attracting to. When Shamsudra met with the George Harrison, he immediately accepted his invitations. And after that, they in later on chapter, George Harrison agreed to make the record of Hare Krishna movement. And the Shyam Sundara in the next paragraph, the asserts race on the 8th December 1968, Shyam Sundara rang George bell. He carried a parcel of savories and sweets specially prepared by Yamuna. George opened the door and invited him. While George's wife Patty took the delicacies to the kitchen, George let him guest into a spacious room decorated with painting Hindu deities. Shiva performing his cosmic dance, beginnings, elephant-headed Ganesha, Saraswati, goddess of arts, holding his stringed veena. On the mantelpiece sat framed photo of the George Yoga Master, Yoganand and Yukteswar with incense burning before them, a picture of Prabhupada. And George Harrison already have picture of Prabhupada. George was no longer to the yoga path or chanting mantra. 3 years earlier, he met with Ravi Shankar, gone to India to study star with him. And then he met Maharshi, and 3 months in early 1960, he met study at Maharshi's ashram in Rishikesh to learn mantra meditation. George had a lot of questions, and Shyam Sundara did his best to answer them. But George especially wanted to know more about Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada represented an unbroken line of teacher that stretches back thousands of years, explained Shyam Sundara. Although he is deeply learned and has written several books, think of himself as everyone's servant. He always says that his qualification to be a guru is that he is teaching us exactly what he learned from his own guru. He has added everything or taken everything away. That's why we trust him. George listened. The essence of Krishna consciousness is to love Krishna. We do that by serving Krishna in everything we do and by chanting Krishna's name. The Prabhupada says the name of God and God himself are not different. When you chant Krishna name, Krishna dance on your tongue. So Shyamsundra explained the philosophy of the Srila Prabhupada and as per Bhagavad Gita and as per Krishna said himself. So here Shyamsundra explained the philosophy of Krishna consciousness to the George Harrison. And George Harrison listening very carefully.
Prabhuji, if you want, you can take some questions also from devotees.
Okay.
If you want questions also, you can ask Prabhuji actually. Otherwise, you can continue. If there is no question, you can continue. Or if there is question, then you can take some questions from the devotees.
Okay, Prabhu. If any one have any query and question, suggestions, please.
Please ask Prabhuji, the very senior devotees. So if you have any doubt about the process or finding difficulty and whatever may be any issue, you can clarify with Prabhuji. So please don't hesitate to ask him.
Yes, sir, all are welcome.
Prabhuji,
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
How is spiritual happiness different from material happiness?
Very good question. Actually, material happiness is very temporary. It's just like thundering light. You know, thunder light for 1, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. And spiritual happiness is eternal. When we got spiritual happiness, that never perishes. That is eternal. And material happiness is just the illusion, not actually happiness. And it seems to be there are two type of actually activity in this world is Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas means which is best for us. But its taste in the starting is bitter. But in the prayers means immediately. We are eating some fast food. We are eating just for the taste, but it destroy our health also. And later on, so many issues. But we want immediate. Want to release immediately something. That's why this spiritual happiness is eternal, but in starting, we think like it's very difficult, it's very troublesome. But later on, we found that it is very, very sweet. Hare Krishna, it makes sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhu, you have nicely actually said that the spiritual happiness has, in the beginning, maybe actually troublesome, but at the end, it's nectar. Whereas the material happiness, maybe in the beginning, we like to do it, nectar, but at the end, actually, it is not nectar, the poison. So, very nicely, Prabhu.
Yes.
And Prabhu, I also have actually one question there. So you have said na, that actually this, if the devotee have whenever devotee go to another devotee, he bring prasadam first actually. Prasadam or some gift. Yes, so
Yes.
that actually help them to be introduced in Krishna consciousness. So it's a very, very nice thing that. But how can we? So we also we see that go to some place to visit, and how we actually adapt this practice that we carry some prasadam and give it to anybody and everybody so that they can also get some benefit out of it?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's actually not possible to give everybody, but when we planning to go with some celebrity or sit with higher authority, just like we want to meet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, then we should supposed to prepare ourselves to give some, to carry some sweets, offer prasadam. Prasadam is very powerful. Actually, when we offered devotionally with love to the Kṛṣṇa, it's very, very, very powerful. And when we give prasadam to other person, he's very impressed. He's very impressed. Just like in story in New York, when first time Prabhupada introduced the Jagannath Yatra in New York, and Prabhupada invite the disciple. We are planning to arrange the Jagannath Yatra in New York. So everyone refusing. Prabhupada, it's not possible. Very high security in New York. Prabhupada said only one thing. This is the prasadam. You take this prasadam, give to authority, and then talk. That same strategy the disciple follow. They start giving prasadam from the security officer to higher officer, and just first give the prasadam and then enter into the top level. And the top level officers then asked them, how you are reached here? No one, so much security in our office, how can you reach here? Then the devotee said, we are doing nothing, I'm just distributing the prasadam and go ahead. This is the training of the Srila Prabhupada. We should give some prasadam to higher authority when we are go for some big work, big official work, and to meet with the celebrities, because they can spread Krishna consciousness in very, on a vast level. Hare Krishna. It makes sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. Actually, it's a very nice reply that, and also it's a lesson for us that whenever we go and meet to our any friends or any relative or any officers, a high-rank officer, can carry prasadam and give it to them. It can actually transform their heart. They also can come to Krishna
Yes.
consciousness. Yeah, after maybe some time. Thank you, Prabhu. So,
Thank
is there any other questions?
I think all are satisfied. We can wind up here, Prabhu.
Prabhu, it's up to you, Prabhu. It's actually 9 o'clock. If you want to continue reading, you can continue up to 9, or it's Prabhu up to you. Or if you devotee have any questions, they can also ask.
Okay.
Yes.
Should we read?
Yes, Prabhu. Then Prabhu, up to 9, Prabhu, you can read, Prabhu. Up to 9, yes.
Okay. We are on which paragraph? That but let me continue. But how do you avoid this distracted by Maya? George knew about Maya. the illusion of material life and how hard it could be to follow the yoga path when you are surrounded by people intent on their goal. That's the power of chanting. The Sudra replied, and he described how, as long as you chanted Krishna's name, you were with Krishna. Consequently, Maya had no power over you. Prabhupada had written all about this in the edition of the Bhagavad Gita. He said, it has just been published in New York, and soon we will have copy here in the London. I will give you one. Yes, I would like that very much, said George, but why do you only chant to Krishna? Why about Shiva or Saraswati? George Harrison inquiring why you are not worshipping the Shiva or Saraswati. Then Shamsundra replying, our spiritual masters say that Krishna is the origin of all other form of God. He is the original candle from whom all the other candles have been lit. Each candle has equal brightness, but the first candle is the source of all other. So Krishna include all other deities. There is no need for us to chant to their separately. We depend on the Krishna for everything. This is very nice understanding of the Shyam Sundara, because in so many instances, in so many scriptures, it is mentioned also in Bhagavatam in 3rd canto, 14th chapter and 31 sloka, that if we give the water to the root of the plant nourishes in all branches, twigs, and flowers, all are nurses. The same philosophy apply here. If you worship the Krishna, the same all demigods are satisfied. The same thing Shyam Sundra sharing with George Harrison. And further they talked for a long time, then began to chant together. The George playing his Indian harmonium, Shyam Sundra keeping time with the Kartala. Patty joined in. When the afternoon ended, George knew he had found someone he could talk to frankly and openly about his spiritual path. He became thoughtful. George wanted to meet and chant with the rest of the devotees, and he had developed a taste for their cooking. So it was agreed within a week or two, as soon as we could get free, he would visit their temple in Covent Garden. See you soon, then said Shamsundra as he climbed into his car. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, answered George, waving goodbye. They each felt they had found a friend. And in this way, their meeting of Shamsundra and George Harrison was a successful meeting. And after that, at George's home, George showed the devotee his studio and introduced an Billy Preston, a brilliant young keyboard player he had brought over from America. The devotee got out their instrument and settled down with a sense of anticipation for the main event, the Kirtana. Billy Preston played the electric organ. George sat at his white upright harmonium to begin with, then picked up a bass guitar. Mukund beat the mridanga. Colin played George's tabla. Shamsundra the saras. Gurdas the tambura, and Janaki and Malati the kartala. Yamuna sang the lead at the time, Hari Bol, at the top of their lungs. They chanted for an hour or so, switched instrument and chanted again. For 3 hours, the chant went on. 3 hours, long time. The long, deep, and languorous George had learned to love chanting by hearing Prabhupada's album, and now he had other to share the chanting with. He did not want to stop. That night, after chanting together for an hour, something changed. A deep connection was forged between them. a sense of spiritual community that transcended any difference they might have on the material plane. At the end, as the devotees were preparing to leave, George spoke the word that were on everyone's mind. But these wording are very specific. George said, "We have to make a record." And George Harrison finally accepted the Shyamsundar's proposal, and here George Harrison agreed to record. We have to make a record. This was what the devotee had longed for. Each back in San Francisco, they had sometime dreamed of what it would be like to record the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra with the Beatle. Now, without artifice, the doors was opening. It was more of the Krishna's magic. It's all is the magic of the Krishna, because George Harrison is agree himself to record the chant, and the chanting is so enchanting. As Gurudev always says, chanting is enchanting, because the chant in George Harrison, as we are reading this, they chant for 3 hours. It's too much. We are in morning, we cannot sit 2 hours for after 20 years in Krishna consciousness. We cannot sit for 2 hours. But George Harrison chanting for 3 hours, right from the beginning. It's a great thing. It's very good starting. That's the magic of the Krishna. And further, as Colin left, George came up to him. "I show how much you enjoyed the tabla," he said. "They were your men. Look after them." And George handed him the drum. A week later, George came round to the temple. He had just been to Spain. "I wrote the song about you guys," said, and he called, "Here come the sun." After that, George became a regular visitor at the temple, and the devotees sometimes went to his home. Very well. George Harrison became the regular devotee of the Hare Kṛṣṇa, and he will start visiting. Very well. Shyam
Hare
Sundar
Krishna.
Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So you have said very nicely that 3 hours, but we would not even sit for 2 hours for chanting our 16 mala.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu. Very difficult for
difficult
me also.
for me as well. Yeah.
And the first time George Harrison chant for 3 hours. It's very great. It's the power of the Prabhupada, its disciples. Prabhupada always says that purity is the force. It's Prabhupada purity. So, Prabhu,
Thank you,
thank
Prabhuji.
you very much for giving me opportunity, and please forgive me if I speak something wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Vancha kalptarubhasya कृपा सिंधु एव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः।
Please accept my humble senses.
प्रणाम प्रभु।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
Should I
Yes,
leave?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. We will now actually end the session. Thank you all
Thank you.
the devotees who have joined today, and also to Prabhuji for his wonderful discussion. Hare Krishna.